Hello everyone, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. It is time for me to unbox my Freckled Fawn Kit for the month of June, and whenever I unbox a kit, I also do a project, so be sure you stick around for the second part of this. For now, let's go ahead and open up this package. So if you are a current follower, you already know my spiel, but for anybody who's new or doesn't know the spiel yet, Freckled Fawn offers various ways to subscribe to product, from as little as a pack of die cuts to as much as a full scrapbook kit and everything in between. I subscribe to the 6x8 kind of memory documenting a scrapbook kit, and the reason why is that I don't like to pay the shipping on the 12x12 kit, and I don't need that much product anyway. I just want a little taste of things to play with that are new. So here is the kit. This package is what they call the die cuts. These happen to be stickers this time around. They are often like paper style die cuts. Here I will peel back the sticker paper so that you can see how they work. Now sometimes I have a smooth sailing with getting these to separate, and sometimes not so much. It seems like whenever I turn the camera on, that's when it happens not so much. But when I was off camera, they were working fine. At any rate, these die cuts or stickers are not included in the 6x8 kit, but I will show you everything else that is included in just a moment. So there you go. I've got the stickers peeled apart. So if that bothers you, this may not be the product for you. All right, I'm spreading out those stickers a little bit so you can see everything that's included. I do feel like their die cut packs are fairly generous for the price, and this month I am not as thrilled because I don't really know how to use these tropical leaves. I am a fairly literal scrapbooker, so things that really match up with the story is what I like to use. So I don't know how I'm going to use tropical leaves without any kind of tropical story to tell. At any rate, here, let's take a look at the rest of the kit while my brain processes how I'm going to use this in a project this month. So the kit does include some kind of enamel shape. Mostly enamel dots are typical. Some kind of wood veneer shapes. We got smiley faces this time around. It always includes a chipboard sheet of, these are stickers. So we've got those embellishments. We also have washi tape. Sometimes you get a roll of washi. Most of the time you'll get these sheets of washi, which I find more usable just because I have different patterns to go with, so I like that. You get an alphabet set. This one is a smaller alpha, 2 sheets of the alpha, and it's gold foiled. You get 2 sheets of cardstock stickers, which are generally these kind of flags and banners. You get a sheet of puffy alphas, and I have a pink alpha, which is going to be a little trickier for me to use since I don't do a lot of pink titles, so we'll see how that goes. In terms of the papers, here are the 6x8 papers, and I adore that palm tree print. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but the colors are beautiful, so I will have to figure out something. Now, this print has the triangles on the back, and then it has kind of a little stylized plus symbol on the other side, and then we've got some more tropical leaves, and again, tropical leaf stories, I don't know. The back side of that one is a ledger print, and I'm pretty sure there's always a ledger print. And then we have a polka dot, and that's pretty typical to have these calmer, more universal prints on the back. Okay, now these tropical leaves on this side, wow. I really don't know what I'm going to do with that paper. That one might just end up being used for the B-side in the long run, because that is not really my thing. All right, with the kit revealed done, let's see what I can do with this project. So I went through my story binder and I found these photos. And like I said earlier, I'm a very little scrapbooker. So when I saw my husband doing a selfie with this smiley face, and I'll tell you more of that story as we go, I thought of the smiley face wood veneer in there. And so that's where I'm going to go. Now, this is going to be a 12x12 layout, which I've been doing smaller layouts with these kits, but I do want to show you that you can use 6x8 papers on 12x12 layouts, no problem. And there's lots of different techniques. Here, I'm going to keep it really simple. You won't have to do any paper trimming or cutting. I've got 3 photos, and I'm going to kind of arrange those photos in a triangle. I'm putting the 2 photos together that have more closely related to the story, and then I will put that 3rd photo down towards the bottom. And look, I figured out how to use the tropical leaf print. Now this story was done in the summertime, so we had warm weather, so I'm just going with that. And like I said, the literal part of my brain is having to be shushed a little bit because it is speaking up, and I have to make it be quiet because this is fine. There is nothing wrong with doing this. So I need to work on that part of myself and my creative process. All right, so I want to leave these photos on these two mats, and you can see that upper mat has stripes to it, which is going to point down towards the lower mat. So I'm going to use that as the basis of my design here, where I'm going to go with this kind of left to right diagonal design. So up here in this corner is going to be a great space for my title. I do have an awkward space of a gap in between the photos, and we'll get to that again in a bit. So as I'm starting to build this title, I do want to pick up more of the yellow color from that photo with my husband's selfie. And speaking of selfie, we were at we live by a large river that has a dam on it, and the dam is about an hour from us, so we often drive out there. Not often, but every once in a while we drive out to the dam and hang out for the day and just chill out. But this was the first time we've gone to the lock part of the dam, which is where ships go into this lock system, and they can go up and down the height difference that the dam causes. And so these gates that you see here to the right of my husband's photo, those are massive concrete gates that hold the water in so the boat can be lifted up to the upper level of the river and cross across the dam. And as the ship got lifted up, we were watching this whole process happen. It's kind of a barge ship, and it has this happy face symbol on it, which I think is just the company mascot or something. And we see them often going up and down the river, but my husband's never been quite this close to them. And he likes barges and other kind of watercraft. So he was happy to see this ship up so close and got himself a selfie with it. So that was a very fun part of our trip to the dam this time. We've never seen this happen before, even though we've lived here for like 20 years. So this was really exciting for that. All right, here is where I'm tackling that awkward gap between the photos. You can see there's just kind of a lot of edges going on with where the papers overlap and the edges of the photos. So I'm just going to take some time to cover that up with some embellishments. I'm creating a few layered bits with the cardstock stickers and the chipboard stickers. And I'm pulling out the little phrases that match up with our story, like summertime, and I can't remember what else at this point, but it all made sense to me. And then that's where I'm going to tuck in my little literal embellishment so my brain can be happy with that. And I've got my little happy face going on there, and I will use the rest of those happy faces for something else. Okay, you see those arrows that I've got going on? I thought I wanted to point to two different journaling sections to tell kind of the two different halves of this story, but I did not like how it broke the diagonal flow of my original layout design. So what I'm going to do instead is move those arrows together down at the bottom of the layout so I still get that whole diagonal flow, but since they're pointing to the left, it'll help guide the eye to the journaling at the end of that diagonal. So it kind of makes an upside down 7 or a backwards L shape. Does that make sense? So that's how I'm going to have the flow of this layout. So next up is I bring in those tropical leaves because I got to use them somewhere. And since they're not my favorites and I can't imagine I couldn't imagine this story before I got started with it. So who knows where those leaves will end up. So I'm going to use them while I know I can use them, and hopefully use them all up and not have them just go stale in my stash. All right, as I'm tucking this one around, I realized I wanted it to be under my title a little bit, but since I already glued my letters down, and that is one thing that you should know about Freckled Fawn kits, their adhesives aren't super strong, and I think that's true of so many products these days. So I always add liquid glue, and I did that step a little bit too soon because I wanted to peel those up and put that sticker down. I did tear my stickers as I went, so luckily I have 2 sheets of those alphabet stickers, so I just replaced the letters that were damaged, and luckily I didn't tear the background of my paper, so all is well. And that finished up getting my tropical leaves on there. I got my arrows in place. I'm going to stamp my journaling lines. This is an ancient journaling stamp that I have had forever, and it's the one that I use 95% of the time. So I got that on there, and then there was a little bit of an awkwardy gap between that and the photo. So I'm just going to tuck in one more embellishment just to take up that space. And when I adhered all of those leaves off camera, I did just fine with the sticker sheet. But like I said, as soon as I turn the camera on, I start having trouble again. At any rate, I get that done, and then I'm starting to take a look at it. I really think I'm done at this point, and I feel like that one leaf up at the top is a little ungrounded, I guess. I know it's all touching everything, but there's something that feels unfinished about it. And so that's when I realized, gee, I have these enamel dots that, of course, I intended to use them because I love enamel dots, and I think they add great finishing touches. And that's kind of what that leaf needed, just a little bit of something to tie it in to the rest of the grouping. So that helps tie it into the title grouping with the enamel dots kind of going around the title as well. And then I add more enamel dots for consistency down that diagonal, kind of 3 spots down there. And that actually finishes off my layout for this time around. I will get my journaling in off camera, and I will leave you with some close-up pics of this layout so you can see all of those elements coming together. That will wrap it up this time. I know I have one more video coming for you this month, maybe 1 or 2 more. Life has been super busy here with a bunch of summer stuff and yard work stuff happening. So I will do my best to get you some more videos before the end of the month. If not, then join me on the 1st for my scrapbook kit build. Until then, I hope you have an artful day.